Alright, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. First things first, little strabango. If you guys watched my last vlog, you would have already seen me talk about this. Now, I was actually looking at the YouTube channel earlier today, and I realized I haven't really shown you guys around this office in 6 months. Like literally since the second week that I moved in, and quite a few things have changed. So today we're gonna fix that. I'm definitely gonna show you guys around this office, show a few things I've kind of changed and updated in here. Because honestly, this is my dream office, my dream setup, all that kind of stuff. And also to go along with the intro of today's video, we got a few things to unbox as well. Now, actually a fun thing that I recently picked up, well, to me it's fun, you guys know. If you're familiar with the channel, I love Yeti products. This right here is a 16-ounce koozie, can cooler, whatever you want to call it, and it perfectly fits a Ghost Energy. But this thing, I literally just spilled all over my desk. Why am I like this? But I myself, for whatever reason, sip on my drinks for literally hours. Like I'll probably drink this for the next 3 to 4 hours. I just sip on it. I don't know why. This thing keeps it ice cold. All right, so let's just go ahead and jump right into it. I wanna show you guys around this office, show you some upgrades I've made, or maybe show you some things you haven't seen quite yet. Now I do wanna point out that at some point I will have a full in-depth office tour video because I always love making those. It seems like you guys always enjoy them. So I'll have a more polished and produced one later on. But today I wanna do a quick overview and just show you guys around the space a little bit. All right, so now this is the office that you guys are familiar with. Let me take a little step back here, because if you look at just my Instagram, you might think this is its own room, but it's actually just a den, which is actually pretty nice because I have all this extra space to set up lights, tripods, all that kind of stuff when I'm creating. Now this right here is where I honestly spend most of my time here when I'm in my apartment, and these are my main two setups that I have. One is my gaming PC, which I built myself. I feel like it's actually going bad now because my fans no longer light up and I can't figure that out, so that's probably not good. But it is a beast. It has an i9 2080, 2 terabytes of SSD. It's my gaming setup. So any sort of gaming I do, I have it right here. Up above, I have a 40-inch Vizio TV. I've actually just kind of used this for entertainment up here. Sometimes, you know, I'll share another screen up onto that. Right now I have the Don't Be Sour podcast with the Ghost co-owners. Great episode. But originally when I moved in here, my plan was to have just one screen to kind of do both. My gaming setup and then also my creative setup. Now Apple had other plans and they released the Apple Studio display. So I picked that up. We'll talk about that more here in a second, but I absolutely love this display. So I got my 16-inch M1 Max MacBook Pro there. And then this is the, I believe, 39-inch ultra-wide LG monitor. I'll have all this stuff linked below, at least the best I can. High ground keyboard, Naga Razer mouse right there. And then the Logitech MX Master keys there. And then the mouse right over here, iPad mini. And this is kind of the setup right now. It's not completely perfect if I'm being honest, but it works great for my workflow and it looks great for when I'm creating content. But for now, works pretty good. Now over here on this side of the office, this is mostly storage, backdrop stuff. You guys know I'm a big sneaker guy, so somehow I've accumulated some sneaker boxes back here, some of my favorite shoes displayed. Up here is my Kobe poster, so if you aren't familiar with that, I will have that video linked up here. You guys should definitely go check that out. Shout out to my guy Matt for building this for me. It's actually my girlfriend's dad. He sent me this as a birthday gift because I definitely would not have the patience to put this together, but this is my dream vehicle. Obviously things have changed a bit since I moved to Chicago, but this is a really cool gift. Sony a7 IV with the 50-1.2, which fun fact, I'm actually thinking about selling this lens and maybe potentially this camera. Let me know if you guys want a video going more in depth about that down below. I'm going to be unboxing this and talking about this in a minute. One of my biggest tips for any creators is if you have the space, try to keep as much of your filming gear built so whenever you go to create something or maybe you get an idea, there isn't as much stuff you have to do to just get started. At my first place I lived, I had to break down all this stuff, set up all this stuff every single time I wanted to film something, and that was just another barrier that kind of kept me from creating stuff simply. Now if I want to film something or maybe an idea hits me, I literally just turn on a light, move the tripod over, and I am ready to film in seriously like 60 seconds. And a perfect example of that is I can just pull this light this direction, point it this way, and now I have light over here. Now this is part of my office that I know for a fact I have not showed you guys quite yet. Honestly, isn't the pretty part, but it is definitely necessary. That is actually my front door to my apartment. It is such an ugly color. That is actually a half bath back there, which I just use for storage. I actually have a full bath back near my bedroom, so I just keep a bunch of crap in there. That right there is something for a future video. But this is just all the stuff that I need to have on deck when I am creating YouTube videos or content for my other socials like Instagram, TikTok, stuff like that. A lot of it's gear, camera gear. Sometimes it's just odds and ends of pieces of tech or things I might need at some point. I got this Husky workbench a few years back and I absolutely love it. I use it to hold all my camera gear, and it also locks and it has wheels. So it's just a perfect thing to have creative gear in a safe spot that you know where everything is. Over here I have a couple of my tripods. It's just a Manfrotto one, which I got a few years back. This is a boom arm that I use for all of my overhead stuff. If you watch my everyday tech bag video, this is what I use for those overhead shots. A nan light tube, I have a bunch of these around. I absolutely love these. Now this right here is one of my favorite additions that I've gotten, especially getting into the short form vertical content. Now this tripod is actually pretty sick, and honestly, if any creator is in the market for a tripod, I would highly recommend this one. It is made by Joby, but the reasons why I like it is it's super lightweight, it's really compact, so you can really kind of break it down small, and then it has these easy little knobs here, whatever you want to call it, so you can make it short, so you can change the height very quickly. But especially in this day and age when short form vertical content is so important, the nice thing about it is that you can obviously use, you know, a normal camera on it with the camera mount, but then it also comes with a really nice and high quality phone mount. A lot of times you're gonna be filming content with an iPhone or whatever phone you have. And this little clamp right here, you put your phone in there and you have a high quality tripod, not just like a cheap little crappy tripod that a lot of people use for their phones. Highly recommend this thing. So yeah, this isn't the prettiest part of my office, but it is necessary. And honestly, a lot of times when I'm filming content over here, sometimes I just have to kind of shove crap over here so this spot looks good. All right, so the Apple Studio display. This was kind of like a polarizing product. Some people loved it, some people hated it. I myself have absolutely loved this thing. It's amazing. The display looks so good, and the nanotextured glass makes me feel so spoiled, and I don't know how I'm ever going to have a normal monitor again, to be honest. So let me know if you guys want a full in-depth video on this display, because I love this thing. All right, let's go ahead and unbox a few things. Now this brand right here is a brand called Anaka Power. All right, so they just had a new launch, and the boys actually sent me an entire care package of, this might be every single piece of the launch, to be honest, which is crazy. A lot of times in my videos, I wear them. I've been supporting these guys actually since the very first launch, which is cool. So sick. This one is definitely one of my favorites from the collection. So we got the Anaka Power shorts, the hit of that over there, Gorilla Face over here. So shout out to my Anaka boys over there. Honestly, I know the entire crew at this point. I mean, this box is sick. It's funny because a year ago, and I think I might have even said this in an actual video, there has always been two brands that I wanted to work with. One is Ghost Lifestyle, and then the second one is Anaka Power. Now I'm not affiliated with Anaka, I don't have a discount code, nothing like that with them, but at this point I've kind of gotten to know these guys through me working with Ghost Lifestyle. I've hung out with these guys, I've had dinner, drinks, all that kind of stuff, and at this point they are family. I'm a big believer in supporting brands that you love and that you're passionate about, and these guys are definitely one of those brands for me, so shout out to the guys again. All right, now a couple other small little things to unbox. So these are already unboxed for Instagram Reels and TikTok, but since YouTube hasn't seen them yet, I definitely want to show you guys what they are. If you are in the camera world at all, you probably know what this is. Now leave it to Peter McKinnon to make the coolest camera tool. We got a flathead, screws, it comes with other tools and stuff like that. And then a really cool thing about it is it actually has this little slot here that is for a memory card. So in case you're traveling or you need to keep a memory card safe, an SD card, it slides right in there. It's funny because this shouldn't be that exciting of a product, but his team killed it with this. Now, one thing that I've really made a focus for me in my channel and my content over the past, I would say year, especially 6 months since I moved here to Chicago, is the fact that I'm trying to implement more of what makes me in my content. Now, 2 years ago, I probably wouldn't have ever included sneaker content into my other stuff, right? On paper, it doesn't really make sense to include it alongside, you know, camera gear, tech, stuff like that. But if you look at my Instagram page now, it is perfectly intertwined. And anybody that knows me and knows my content, they know my style, those things just go together. It makes my content, and kind of what helps separate me from other people. I think that's really important for any creator, is to figure out what makes you different from someone else. And you'd be surprised what kind of niche niche you can build and what community you can build around that. Now, I'm not saying I'm the first creator out there that kind of combined sneaker stuff with tech, but I'm definitely one of the first, and I feel like I definitely did implement it really well. It's funny because other people are tagging me in posts or sending me other people's content and stuff like that because it looks like my style of content, which is cool. I think that means that people are familiar with my style, with what my brand kind of looks like. And at this point, it's just kind of cool to see how other people get inspiration from that as well. You got to figure out a way to make your content different from other people, and you just got to make it you. So that was a long rant to tell you I got a new pair of shoes. Let's show you guys what I got. So this right here, I've been on a big Nike Dunk phase. Now these are the Nike Dunk Lows, the special edition certified fresh colorway. Quite the name. Now I actually hit on these, so I got these for retail. These are one of my favorite pickups in quite some time. I don't know if you guys can tell, but this right here is almost like a very, very subtle pink or purple, and it's honestly so sick. And then this is like a canvas texture. So we got like an all white silhouette. We got that little black Nike swoosh. I love the orange on the tongue, just to give it a little pop. And then this is just such a subtle little color right there. These are gonna be able to go with pretty much everything. So these might be kind of like a daily driver. I think I'm gonna be wearing these a ton. All right, so for dinner tonight, ordered a little food. Now this is a place called Sweet Green. I used to always get this in New York, and now I live in Chicago. They have it, and I love this place. This is what I get. It's called a hot honey chicken plate. It's basically like quinoa, a bunch of chicken, this like hot honey sauce, some almonds. It doesn't look like a lot of food, but it's dense, I'm telling you. All right, so I shook it up. Let me give you guys a little taste test right here before we close out this video. That's good. All right, guys, well, that pretty much wraps up today's video. I really just kind of wanted to show you guys around the space, show you the new additions that I've made to it. Now, it doesn't mean it's done. There's definitely a few additions, a few things I want to change moving forward. But for now, it's great, and I love sitting in here and creating content. And I know I preach this all the time, but it is so important to have a space that you are inspired to create in. And you don't have to have an office or a studio or anything like that. It could just be the way that you set up in your kitchen, at the kitchen table, the counter, maybe you're in a living room. It's just important to have a space that when you sit down in, you kind of enter that mode of, okay, it's time to create and get some work done. But guys, that's gonna be it for me in today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, will you please drop this video a thumbs up. If you're new around here, consider subscribing. It really helps out me and the channel more than you can even imagine. And please let me know down in the comments below if you guys are enjoying these vlogs. Honestly, it's been really fun for me to pick up the camera and kind of just document what's going on again. But guys, I'm going to eat this food and then probably just relax for the rest of the evening, maybe edit a little bit, which, let's be honest, that's probably what I'll do. Peace, guys.